okay, we're starting to see some good, still performance. We still have an ad spend that goes descending, but it's a lot more even now. I mean, you're talking a bunch of ads here that spends 22 grand, where the highest one only spent 4 in this week. But you compare that to the previous week, and you can see the shuffling of the deck. Bunch of red, bunch of green, bunch of red and green, down 50, up 130, down 70, up 230. Like, you're starting to see some weird swings. And what you're identifying here, or what we're seeing here, is actually the constant creative iterations and ad spend reallocations to multiple sections of the funnel, who are always needing additional pieces of content, but for their specific section. Cold traffic needs to see new cold. Middle funnel needs to see new middle funnel. The bottom of the funnel needs to see new bottom of the funnel. The hook rates of the new bottom of the funnel are going to be drastically higher than the cold new ads, because these people are definitely more apt and ready to buy. So you start to see some oddities that sort of change the way that you're actually kind of judging the performance of your creative. Here's what I mean. If we look at Robino, this one here, and let's just go back for this last 7 days. We're going to go into this. So cost per results going down, results going up, but my ad spend is not sorted. To turn that off, then go to amount spent, reshuffle the deck, then do my comparisons. Come on. And do my comparisons. There we go. And then we're going to add a couple columns. We're actually going to do link clicks. Let's see. Let's do outbound clicks. We'll bring it up here. So here's what's kind of interesting. Sometimes you see things that look like this. So you have a decrease of 74 link. What the heck? You have a 74 decrease, but you have a 2% increase here. Or you have like a 276 increase, but only like a 5% increase. So you start to see, like, wait a minute, like sometimes these things don't make sense. And sometimes they're heading back in the opposite direction. Sometimes they're massive and no change. Sometimes they're heading down and then you get more. So what ends up happening is you start to see some things that don't quite align. Like, why is the ad spend? This is one thing that we noticed this week, is if we look at just the last few days, I think it's like 3, 4, and 5, or 4 and 5 here. And we start to look at the campaign here. The amount spent is actually being spent on creative that has a low hook rate. I don't know why these things are just not holding up, but the hook rate is like, hey, this one's like a pretty poor hook rate, this product demo. But if we look at the performance of like a kind of lower hook rates, it's having some high ad spend. Whatever, it's just not going to keep doing it. I'm not going to fight it. Ad spend is going up on something that has like a low hook rate, and the conversions are going up, and the cost per conversion is going down. So John, you're wrong. Like, this is a low hook rate, but it has a high amount of ad spend. It's going up and things are getting better. And we can kind of see that as we compare this to the previous period, this like low hook rate is just cranking up 73% more results, right? Like, wait a minute, John, no, 18% here. This is kind of odd. It's 68% more spend. It's 2% cost. So it's literally just driving 73% more checkouts. And if we look at the outbound link clicks are increasing here as well. What's so funny about this right here is we've run many different product videos. And when we see the amount spend kind of going kind of like doing this, and all of a sudden start to crank up, it went from basically under 200 to now 450 as of yesterday. When looking through the portions of the journey via like Northbeam and all the other stuff that we can use to actually have some sort of touch points, a lot of these, most of them, I think 72% are secondary. These are the secondary clicks. So it's not that the hook rate needs to have a high hook rate in order to engage it. It also can have things like obviously click the rate or hold rate. This hold rate is an 18.85%. Okay. What's my hold rate here? 4. Oh, okay. Well, what's my product demo here? 8. Oh,
yeah, it's different parts of the funnel.
Right. So I don't have to necessarily hook you. If I have a decent hook rate and decent hold rate, yeah, this thing will spend $1,300 and it looks really good. But something that has maybe a mediocre hook rate means I don't need to stop the scroll. You already know who I am, but you'll watch the whole thing. So a lot of secondary people are starting to engage in this. So it becomes a little bit more, a little bit less. It's a little bit more important to look at why things are happening in terms of the portion of the journey and what your concept is, and say, is this shotgun approach working well? Yeah, we have nothing but healthcare, nothing but product demos and UGC and who we are. Like, we're literally just keep telling the same thing to the same people. We're getting about the same hook rates. Now, 30%, yes, that is just going to scale to the moon and everybody's going to start there. But now it doesn't seem like there's really any challenge between an 18, a 17, an 18, a 12, and a 12 and 31. Like this one, Robino, yes, that one's good, of course, because guess what else is good? We know that. That's why this thing is still cruising. So we have a whole bunch of outbound clicks that start to increase here, and we don't actually even make any sort of results. Why? Well, again, we don't care about that. It's all about the engagement. So it's very interesting. It does look like engagement, if we can optimize towards the highest level of engagement, or at least where the ad spend is going first, that actually can result in a really, really good situation. In the AOS new customer campaign, we actually started to see something that looks a little bit different.
Side note real quick, what does this company do for people that need the context?
If you want to know how difficult this is, are you a person who is most likely out of college, not of high school? You're probably an adult, maybe a mother, maybe a father, maybe a full-time job, maybe you don't, but you want to go back and get your nursing degree, but you don't have any time or really a lot of money, but you can get all of your prerequisites done for like 1/10 of the time, 1/10 of the cost, and at home. So if you are a person who want to become a nurse that don't have time or money, and you want to jumpstart your career and get all of your prerequisites done that transfer to any sort of medical school you could ever agree to, then you need us.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense then. A lot more middle of funnel.
Little hard.
So hook rate's not as important. I mean, it is, but
right?
It's just a little bit.
Exactly.
Thank God you're doing this during Andromeda, though, because I feel like this would be a nightmare going before pre.
Oh, it is. It really is. And that's what's kind of funny, that we started to look at things like this, where the why do I have a product demo that has a hook rate of 9 and everything else is much better in this hook rate, but this has the highest amount of ad spend and is increasing. This is 900 compared to 300, 200, 200, sub 200. So that's the point here. We're like, wait a minute, what the heck is going on here? We have ad spend increasing, right? Like, this is going up.
Yeah, it's got to be just due to the audience size, I would think.
No,
people just getting warmed up.
I thought that too. I really thought that too. What ended up happening is, in this time period here, oh, let me just do this. Let me highlight this one for us. Actually, I'll do this. Want to see something stupid? So right here is December 28th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got December 29th, you got December 30th, and now you're pretty much done with your holiday, right?
Yep.
Well, here comes Jan 1. Well, December 31st and Jan 1. This is so funny. This chart, this date range, this 28 days. What ended up happening is that this had mediocre performance the entire time. But because this one had some high amount of ad spend and people clicked on it, and then when the demand came back, it all got funneled into this one ad. This is TROAS and TCP, a predictability model again. Gotcha. Which means December 31st, when everything started to come back online from here to here compared to the previous period, this ad scaled 160% in customers with...
Drum roll, please.
Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. With only 23% increase in clicks. So somehow, our because this ad spend happened to be, and this is where I say ad spend dictates all. Ad spend dictates all. It's so freaking important. Here's what happened. The New Year's over. People came back online. This ad was the only one that had the highest amount of ad spend running throughout the entirety. So when everyone came back online from this entire huge warm funnel, this ad was shown and everybody said, cool, time to go sign up for this product. And when they clicked that ad, because they all came back online, Meta said, holy shit, this thing must be the best ad you've ever seen. Simply all the demand just funneled to this ad because this ad was activated during the demand resurgence. So
Gotcha.
Imagine this. Imagine all these people start to come back online and they say, hey, I want to go buy my product. You can see as soon as they bought, crashed into the ground. Hey, if you like this video, we have a Skool Community where we have a few hundred members and we cover topics, everything from the basics to all the way to the like hyper crazy advanced stuff that's like coming out next month. So a few hundred members there. We go live twice a week, something with an hour-long education about something that is very relevant to the community that week, plus a weekly Q&A where you just get to come and bring us all of your problems and we solve them one at a time.
So I have a link below in the description if you want to join. And then obviously if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we can answer those for you. And we'll see you in there.